And welcome to the news at 6. A developer got approval to move forward with plans to convert an assisted living facility in Boise into apartments. But the developer will have to meet several new conditions to make sure the residents who have to move out are taken care of.
This project was first brought before Boise Planning and Zoning last April, and they approved it. But someone living there appealed the decision, which, as it happens, that moves it on to City Council.
Then in October, Council found the developer didn't properly notify residents of the permit or the hearing. So this week, the application was brought back before the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Our Jude Binkley is here to help break it all down for us. Jude?
Morgan, Arbor Village is an assisted living facility on the Boise bench and has 92 residents. And to help those vulnerable seniors find a new place, Planning and Zoning put conditions on the conditional permit to give the residents time and money to move.
They heard from a lot of residents at Arbor Village. Many letters were sent. People that live there came and spoke at the hearing. And as a result of that, they felt these conditions were absolutely necessary to help the people that live there now.
Conditions that California-based DiNapoli Capital Partners will have to meet. They must give residents 1 year to find similar housing, pay for the residents' relocation expenses, and pay for the difference in monthly rent for 3 years, or pay a lump sum to residents.
The commission was expecting that this new owner would help them and come in and provide the resources they need to make this transition. So the commission spoke a lot about how vulnerable the residents here are and how important it is that we as a city do what we must to help them.
In the P&Z meeting on Tuesday, the developer said economic conditions like COVID, inflation, and changes in the labor market drove expenses up.
It's a terrible, unfortunate situation, but the reality is that for business to be sustainable, revenue has to cover costs.
They say they've lost $1.5 million on Arbor Village since the pandemic. Their application met all the technical requirements for the conditional use permit. However, the commissioners put extra conditions on the permit to help residents transition to new housing.
I think we absolutely have to be doing more for these folks. I think that City Council kicked it back to us for that reason exactly.
Give them more time, provide them the financial support that they need in order to make that move.
Planning and Zoning voted 5-1 in favor of the permit and its new conditions.
There's a lot of discussion in Boise about housing and the fact that we need more housing, and that's absolutely the case. But a more important consideration for the city of Boise is people that are vulnerable to displacement in cases where properties are changing hands and where redevelopment is happening. And it's great that we have a city and a process that takes into account people that need help, and that's what happened in this case.
Now, Keen told me that the conditions on permits like this are pretty common, and the developers could appeal this application back to City Council.
Back and forth is possible.
In a city where we are really struggling with affordable housing too. All right, Jude, thank you.